Welcome back to Standpunkt. In our last video, we discussed the Aryan Invasion theory and the fundamental pillars of this theory, which are the racial difference between the Aryans and the indigenous Indus Valley people, the supposed material superiority in terms of weaponry, the presence of horses and war chariots of the Aryans, and of course the presence of the mystical R1A1 gene or the Aryan gene. In this video, we will examine the archaeological evidence and the recent discoveries and excavations in this field and understand the implications on the Aryan invasion theory. Before I proceed, I would like to thank all of you for your feedback and your questions. I will try consistently to improve the content and the aesthetic of the videos. One friend from Delhi had a question about the Kassite Inscription and the Zend Avesta with regard to the Aryan invasion theory. I will answer this question in the course of the video. Another friend from London had a question about the end of the Delhi Sultanate, and I will take up that question in my subsequent videos. So let us proceed with the Kassite inscriptions. To get a better perspective, let's have a look at the map of Asia Minor. Circled in black on the left hand side are Boghaz Kui and the Kassite kingdoms. Both of these are very important in our subsequent discussion. Who are the Kassites? What is the Kassite inscription? And what are the implications of the Kassite inscription for the Aryan invasion theory? The Kassites are a people who had a kingdom in the Zagros mountains and other northeastern parts of Iran. The Kassite kingdom interacted and fought with the other kingdoms of the region, the Babylonians and the Mitanni. Interestingly, the Kassites themselves did not leave behind any inscriptions of their own, and their writing has not been deciphered. The Kassite inscription that we speak of is actually a Babylonian inscription which mentions the names of the Kassite kings. The interesting thing is that these names are similar to the names of the Rig Vedic gods. We have names of kings which resemble Indra, Varuna, and other Rig Vedic gods. So from this inscription, many historians have tried to infer that there was an Aryan presence in the Zagros region, and some have tried to draw the conclusion that the Aryans' original homeland was around the Zagros region and they migrated from there towards the Indian subcontinent. However, this inscription merely proves that there were kings carrying the names of Rig Vedic gods who were ruling in the Zagros region and the northeastern parts of Iran. Now, these could have gone from the subcontinent, these could have taken up Rig Vedic names due to the influence of the Vedic culture. These are all questions that need to be answered with further research. Next, let us look at the Boghaz Kui inscriptions. Boghaz Kui is a very small town in Anatolia, modern-day Turkey, but an inscription found there has deep impact and influence on the debate regarding the Aryan invasion theory. So what is the Boghaz Kui inscription? The Boghaz Kui inscription is actually a Babylonian inscription. It was made by the Babylonians to commemorate a treaty with the Mitanni people. The Mitanni were a kingdom who ruled over parts of Turkey, parts of Iraq, and parts of Iran. In this treaty, the Babylonians, in this inscription for the treaty rather, the Babylonians called upon the Rig Vedic gods Indra, Varuna, and the Ashwini twins, who are the gods of the constellation, to bear witness to their treaty with the Mitanni. It's interesting to note that the Babylonians never called upon the Rig Vedic gods, in their treaties with other powers and other kingdoms, but only with the Mitanni. The Mitanni are known to have Rig Vedic names, and they are known to have worshipped Rig Vedic gods. So this inscription is a major evidence of the influence of the Vedic civilization in parts of Asia Minor, in what is now Iraq, in what is now Iran. Again, it does not provide us any evidence as to migration to the subcontinent or from the subcontinent, but it definitely gives us an idea of the influence of the Vedic civilization over all of Asia. Next, we will examine the evidence in the Zend Avesta, the sacred text of the Zoroastrians. Avesta. The Zend Avesta is a sacred text of the Zoroastrians. It is a collection of hymns much like the Rig Veda. And like the Rig Veda, it is an oral tradition, but it was compiled between the 2nd and the 5th centuries BC during the Sassanian rule in Iran. The hymns are very much similar to the hymns that we find in the Rig Veda. What is interesting for our discussion is that the Zend Avesta mentions that one of the homelands of the Zoroastrians is also the Aryan lands, or the lands where Aryans stay. It must be borne in mind that it does not mention the home of the Zoroastrians as the original homeland of the Aryans or the origin of the Aryans. It simply mentions that the lands of the Aryans are also lands where Zoroastrians lived or where the Zoroastrians have come from. It does not bear witness to any kind of migration from Iran into the subcontinent, from the Caspian Sea region into the subcontinent, or any kind of migration otherwise. So that was the Zend Avesta. So we have discussed inscriptions and the Zend Avesta. In the next video, we will look at the archaeological excavations and other discoveries which can throw more light on the Aryan invasion theory. I hope you enjoyed watching these videos, and I look forward to your questions and feedbacks. Thank you.